สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ
โทรทัศน์รวมการเฉพาะกิจแห่งประเทศไทยขอนำคุณผู้ชมทุกท่านรับชมการถ่ายทอดสดในโอกาสที่พระบาทสมเด็จพระเจ้าอยู่หัวและสมเด็จพระนางเจ้าพระบรมราชินีเสด็จพระราชดำเนินมาในการพระราชพิธีพืชมงคลจรดพระนางคันแรกนาขวัญประจำปีพุทธศักราช 2568 ณ มณฑลพิธีท้องสนามหลวงค่ะ
สำหรับพระราชพิธีพืชมงคลจรดพระนางคันแรกนาขวัญ นั้นเป็นพระราชพิธีสำคัญนะครับจัดขึ้นเพื่อบำรุงขวัญชาวนาและเกษตรกรทั่วประเทศกำหนดจัดขึ้นในเดือน 6 ของทุกปีอันเป็นระยะเวลาที่เหมาะสมที่จะเริ่มต้นการเพาะปลูกครับนอกจากนี้นับตั้งแต่ปีพุทธศักราช 2509 เป็นต้นมาคณะรัฐมนตรียังได้มีมตินะครับให้วันพระราชพิธีเป็นวันเกษตรกรประจำปีอีกด้วยครับ
สำหรับผู้บรรยายในวันนี้ประกอบด้วยดิฉันจิรนันท์เขตพงศ์คุณเกณฑ์สิทธิ์กันทจันทร์และผู้บรรยายภาคภาษาอังกฤษได้แก่ร้อยเอกนายแพทย์ยงยุทธไมยลาภค่ะ
Television Pool of Thailand welcomes you to the live telecast of the Royal Ploughing ceremony to be held at Sanam Luang Ceremonial Ground, Bangkok. His Majesty the King graciously presides over the significant event, which together with the Royal Cultivating Ceremony is aimed at bringing auspiciousness and abundance to the nation's crops. For people in Thailand who can watch this program narrated in English, if your television set has a dual language system, or on the thainews.prd.go.th website, the Facebook NBT World, and the PRDWE OTT platform.
และสำหรับช่วงนี้ขอนำคุณผู้ชมรับชมบรรยากาศการถ่ายทอดสดค่ะ
Now we're seeing the live picture coming from the Sanam Luang Ceremonial Ground in Bangkok and with the view in the back of the Grand Palace. Now we are taking a look at the recorded event yesterday, the Royal Cultivating Ceremony taking place at the Temple of the Emerald Buddha within the Grand Palace. His Majesty King Rama X graciously presided over the ceremony. He was accompanied by Her Majesty Queen Suthida Pacharasutha Pimonlak. This is a Buddhist royal ceremony carried out in the main chapel of the Temple of the Emerald Buddha. His Majesty lighted candles and incense as a gesture of paying respect to the Emerald Buddha and the Prakanthanrat, or the Buddha images that bring about rainfall, and also other important Buddha images in the whole. The highest ranking dignitary belonging to the Royal Chapter of Monks being present in the royal ceremony at the level of Parachakana then presented the Buddhist precepts. His Majesty the King then sprinkled lustre water over the Praputtha Patima Chayavat Buddha image of the reign of King Rama IX, the Prakanthanrat Buddha images, and he then sprinkled lustre water over the rice seeds to be used during the royal ploughing ceremony and scattered flowers over and offer garlands to the Buddha images to pay homage to them. He prayed for the abundance of the nation's crops. พระมหาราชครูพิธีศรีวิสุทธิคุณ the Chief Brahmin, read the proclamation on the cultivating ceremony, which sought to bring propitiousness to the crops. 11 monks chanted prayers. His Majesty the King then poured water from a conch shell over the hand of Mr. Prayun Insakun, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives, who will serve as the Lord of the Royal Ploughing Ceremony of Phraja Rekna for this year. His Majesty then presented bay leaves to Mr. Prayun, anointed his forehead as marks of royal blessing and auspiciousness to the Lord of Ploughing. He then conferred the 9 gem rings and the royal gourd to Phraja Rekna. His Majesty then poured water from a conch shell over the hands of the 4 celestial maidens or tapis, presented bay leaves to them, and anointed their foreheads as marks of royal blessing and auspiciousness to the 4 celestial maidens. At the same time, the congregation of monks chanted prayers, officials blew conch shells and flutes, and played a number of other Thai traditional musical instruments to mark the significance of the occasion. His Majesty the King then presented the 4 necessities of Buddhist monks, namely food, raiment or clothing, a board and medicine to Parachakana, the highest ranking dignitary belonging to the Royal Chapter of Monks being present in the royal ceremony and members of the congregation of monks. Now we are seeing the live picture coming from Sanam Luang Ceremonial Ground. The royal motorcade of His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen is now arriving at the venue. This is the central road of the Sanam Luang Ceremonial Ground with the ceremonial pavilion to the left-hand side of the picture just a moment ago. His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen will now be leaving the royal motorcade. The royal ploughing ceremony day has existed for a long time to give moral support to rice farmers and to predict weather conditions and right yields to be rolled out in the approaching harvest season. The annual ploughing ceremony usually takes place in May every year at Sanam Luang Ceremonial Ground near the Grand Palace in Bangkok. The ceremony has been performed since ancient times and designed to give an auspicious beginning to the new planting season. In fact, the ploughing ceremony is of Brahmin origin, and it was practiced even before the birth of Lord Buddha, who then as a prince used to take part in the ceremony. The auspicious day and time are to be set by the royal Brahmin astrologers. During the reign of King Rama IX, although their majesties were present at the ceremony, the king no longer took the leading role. His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej the Great, or the late King Rama IX, appointed the Lord of Ploughing as his representation to carry out the rites. Their Majesties the King and Queen are now taking their royal seats in the royal pavilion. And during this colorful ceremony, the amount of rainfall to be expected in the coming season is forecast. The Lord of Ploughing is offered a choice of 3 lengths of cloth, all looking identical. If his choice is the longest one, there will be little rain during the coming year. If it is the shortest one, rain will be plentiful, while the one of medium length indicates average rain. After donning the piece of cloth called panung, the ploughing lord then ploughs furrows in Sanam Luang with a sacred plough of red and gold drawn by sacred white bulls and followed by 4 consecrated ladies who carry gold and silver baskets filled with rice seed. Walking along the plough are Brahmins who are chanting and blowing conch shells. When the ploughing is finished, the bulls are presented with 7 different foods and drinks, namely rice seeds, beans, maize, hay, sesame seed, water, and alcoholic liquor. Whatever the bulls choose to eat or drink, it is forecast that this will be plentiful during the year. After the ceremony has ended, the crowd scramble for the seeds sown by the ploughing lord, as the seeds are regarded as things that will bring the owners wealth and good luck. The farmers will mix the seeds with their own rice to ensure a good crop in the coming year. So now the Phaya Ragna, the Lord of the Royal Ploughing Ceremony, being ceremoniously paraded out from the Brahmin Pavilion. He is now approaching the Royal Pavilion to pay homage to their Majesties the King and Queen. Phaya Ragna, or the Lord of the Royal Ploughing Ceremony for this year, 2025, is Mr. Prayun Insakun, Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives. He's going to be 60 years old on this coming 19th of May, 2025. He's graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Cooperative Economics from the Teachers College of Pranakon Sri Ayutthaya. He received a master's degree in Public Administration from Niwattana University, presently Western University. He became a government official in the Cooperative Promotion Department, Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives in 1992, and held various positions in the Cooperative Promotion Department and became the Deputy Director General of the Cooperative Promotion Department in 2017. He was appointed as the Inspector of the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives in 2019 and the Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry in 2020. He was appointed to the present position as the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives on the 1st of October 2022. A pair of ceremonial bulls is being yoked to a plow handle, and Phaya Ragna anoints their heads and the handle as a mark of auspiciousness. He would then take the handle of the plow and will begin to plow 3 concentric furrows and 3 crosswise furrows, and at the same time scatters the rice seeds from the baskets carried by the 4 celestial maidens or the 4 tapis. He's being led by the group of Brahmin priests entering the area of the royal ploughing. We can see the 4 celestial maidens, 2 of them bearing the gold baskets and the other 2 bearing the silver baskets. In a moment, the Lord of Royal Ploughing Ceremony will anoint the heads of the celestial bulls. And the celestial bulls, according to Brahmin religion, means the angel who serves as a vehicle for the Praisuvan, comparable to strength and labor utilization, and also means a pet that was looked after by Prakrisana and Prapolatep, comparable to the abundance of agricultural produce. Thus, for the royal ploughing ceremony, male bulls had always been chosen to take part since the reign of King Rama I, to represent the strength and propitiousness. The Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives designates the Department of Livestock to be the authority in selecting bulls to be used in the royal ploughing ceremony. And this is carried out by Ratchaburi Center for Artificial Insemination and Biotechnology, the Office of the Livestock Biotechnology Production, Department of Livestock, according to appropriate selection criteria. So the bulls must have good appearance, fit and healthy, of no less than 150 centimeters in height, no less than 120 centimeters in length, and chest circumference of not less than 180 centimeters. Both ceremonial bulls must have same skin color, with good skin, shiny hair, with good conduct, easy to train, and not vicious. The horns must be nicely and equally curved, with bright eyes, unblemished ears, long beautiful tails, and strong hooves. Looking at the side of the body, it should appear rectangular in shape. So for 2025, pairs of bulls have been selected, Prako Paw and Prako Piang for the actual ceremonial bulls, and Prako Perm and Prako Poon as reserved ceremonial bulls. The royal ploughing ceremony is about to begin, and the parade now commence. So, Praya Ragna, led by the group of Brahmin priests, taking the handle of the plow and beginning to plow 3 concentric furrows, and then followed by 3 crosswise furrows. And you can see the baskets carried by the 4 celestial maidens. The Lord of the Royal Ploughing will scatter the rice seeds from those baskets. The chief of the Brahmin priests in this congregation is sprinkling luster water over the area. Part of the auspiciousness. As for the celestial maidens, the 2 who are bearing the gold baskets are Miss Tirada Wongkutlo. Presently, she is holding the position of Agricultural Promotion Expert Academic, professional level, the Department of Agricultural Promotion. The other is Miss Warapon Vilaimat, presently holding the position of Administrative Officer, experience level, the Department of Agriculture. The pair were celestial maidens bearing the silver baskets last year. And this year, their mission is to bear the gold baskets. The other 2 celestial maidens bearing the silver baskets for 2025 are Miss Chantisa Arisawe, presently holding the position of veterinarian, professional level, National Bureau of Agricultural Commodity and Food Standards, Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives, and Miss Apichaya Fusang, presently holding the position of audit, practitioner level, Cooperative Auditing Department, Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives. I have some information here on the instruments, the components of the ploughing instrument being used in the royal ploughing ceremony. The plough handle presented to His Majesty the King to be used in the royal cultivating and ploughing ceremony was carved in 1996 by a group of agriculturists who reared milk cows in Potharam district, Ratchaburi province. The plough handle was made from myrobalan tree and consists of the first component is the handle of 2.26 meters in height, measuring from the ground to the head of the naga or the great serpent, and 6.59 meters in length from the head of the naga to the end of the plough. It is painted red throughout. The head of the plough is carved into the figure of a naga and is gold-plated. The handle is decorated in a pattern and gold-plated throughout. The end of the plough is covered with a white cloth with gold trim for handling. The second component is the yoke of 1.45 meters with the figure of a Garuda adorning the middle of the yoke, made in brass and gold-plated on a lotus base. The end of the yoke on both sides is carved into the figure of a great naga, and the figure is gold-plated. The yoke is carved into a pattern and gold-plated throughout the body. The ends of the yoke on both sides have areas carved for attachment to the ceremonial bulls with ropes. The third component is the supporting base, which is used to support the plough handle and the yoke. This is made from red-painted hardwoods with gold-plated decorated patterns at the head and end of the plough. And the fourth component, the victory flag or the 3H flag, is placed at the head of the naga at the plough handle, made of paper and cloth with pattern written on it. This is gold-plated and decorated with reflecting mirrors. It has white plume attached at the top of the flagpole as an item of honor. The jacket flag is triangular shape with a base of 41 centimeters, the height of 50 centimeters, and the flagpole is 72 centimeters high. In the year 2025, the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives, through the Rice Department, humbly requests the royal permission to use the royal rice varieties grown in the experimental rice fields at the Chitlada Villa and the expanded fields during the 2024 main rice growing season. These consist of paddy rice produced from 7 lowland rice varieties: Khao Dok Mali 105, RD 79, RD 85, RD 99 or Hom Klong Lua 72, RD J1 or Wang Tong 72, RD 6, RD 24 or Sakon Nakhon 72, totaling 4,880 kilograms. The rice will be used in the royal ploughing ceremony this year and distributed to the people, interested citizens and farmers throughout the country as a symbol of auspiciousness and good fortune in their agricultural undertakings in accordance with royal tradition and intention. In addition, for the remaining rice seeds, the Rice Department humbly requests the royal permission to store them for use in the 2025 growing season as a foundation for high-quality seeds to be distributed to farmers in the future. For more than half of the humanity, rice is life. It is the grain that has shaped the history, culture, diet, and economy of billions of people of Asia. Many of them sleep on rice straw, drink rice liquor, and offer rice to their gods. The growth stage of the rice crop marks the passage of time and season. In the languages of China, Japan, and many others, the day begins with morning rice and ends with evening rice. In this part of the world, rice is not just a cereal, it is the root of civilization. According to the article Rice, the Grain of Culture by Dr. Kwanchai A. Gomez, in Thailand, rice is the essence of life. It permeates all aspects of the life of the people from all walks of life. Rice in music, particularly folk songs. It is in various forms of the arts, from poems to paintings to sculptures. It is in tradition, folklore, ritual, and even language. For most of us, life without rice is simply unthinkable. Yet rice is almost always taken for granted. As societies become more affluent, they are becoming less attached to rice. The rich rice cultural heritage is fast disappearing, and we need to do something before there's nothing left to preserve. So, this event is a historic and cultural event that has been continued through generations to make sure that we still recognize the immense significance of rice in Thai and Asian culture. Let me come back to the issue about the ceremonial bulls. And as I mentioned, 2 ceremonial bulls are used as actual bulls for the ceremony. They are Khao Lamphun bloodline. Khao Lamphun bloodline is popularly raised among agriculturists in the north of Thailand, and it has pinkish white skin with clean white hair. Its body has neither black blemish or any other color. His horn is white, with the horn's trunk appearing like a candle's trunk. Both horns are beautifully curved. Their eyes are bright and light brown color. Eyelashes are pink. Their noses and hooves are white. The tail hair is white and long. Their rear bodies, hind legs and hooves are healthy and strong. They appear elegant while walking and standing still. Khao Lamphun bloodline is the local bloodline for the traditional task and can be found in various districts of Lamphun and Chiang Mai provinces in the north of Thailand. The bloodline spread to other districts from Lampang, Phayao, and Chiang Rai provinces that are near Lamphun and Chiang Mai. The bulls have distinctive features. As I mentioned, the large and tall body, white trunk with white tail. The texture of the horn and the hoof is of brown-orange color. And with such outstanding elegant characteristics, this bloodline had been chosen as that of the ceremonial bull for the royal ploughing ceremony. No one has studied in detail the exact background to the Khao Lamphun bloodline, its place of origin and the date of emergence. It is known that the animal husbandry faculty of Chiang Mai University had begun rearing the Khao bloodline since 1978 in place of the foreign beef cattle mixed breeds, in order to study and lead the trend towards the conservation and breed adjustment. Khao Lamphun bloodline is a local bull bloodline that resulted from the skill and work of villagers in Lamphun province and gone through development for over 100 years, and the bulls had been popularly reared in Lamphun and Chiang Mai provinces. Some people said that the bloodline resulted from the changing of local bloodline during the era of Queen Jamatevi, who was the first ruler of Haripunchai city over 1,340 years ago in the north. The bulls were the animals befitting the status of governing elites, and they were used for pulling carts. However, Haripunchai was left to ruin during the time when King Meng Rai the Great seized the city, and it was completely deserted when it was ruled by outside country during the second fall of the Ayutthaya in 1767. Some European texts mention that the ancestral origin of local bloodline in Southeast Asia ought to be bulls with no hump that were later crossbred with Indian bulls that had humps, since most of the bulls in this region exhibit the features of both European and Indian bulls mixed together. As for the royal bulls being used as the actual ceremonial bulls of this year's event, The first one is พระโคพอ Now he is 165 centimeters in height and 226 centimeters in length. His chest circumference is 214 centimeters and he is 13 years old. พระครูเพียง the other one, the other member of the pair is 169 centimeters in height and 239 centimeters in length. His chest circumference is 210 centimeters. He is 13 years old too. There are also reserved ceremonial bulls of the Royal Ploughing Ceremony of 2025. พระโคเพิ่ม He is 162 centimeters tall and 236 centimeters in length with chest circumference of 201 centimeters. He is 15 years old. And พระโคพูน 157 centimeters in height, 242 centimeters in length, with chest circumference of 205 centimeters. He's also 15 years old. And they, as I mentioned, they are both Khao Lampoon bloodline. Mr. Somchai Damthamit donated his own money to buy พระครูพอ which is one of today's ceremony bulls, and pass him on to the Department of Livestock to be humbly presented to His Majesty the late King Rama IX. And the bull is now designated as the actual ceremony bull for today's event. The other actual ceremonial bull, พระโคเพียง Mr. อาคมวัฒนากูล donated his own money to buy the bull and pass him on to the Department of Livestock Development to be humbly presented to His Majesty the late King Rama IX. And this bull is also designated as the actual ceremonial bull. The reserve bulls, on the other hand, Mr. Trisadi Chao Sun Charan, former Director General of the Department of Livestock Development, donated his own money in buying พระโคเพิ่ม and gave him to the Department of Livestock Development to be humbly presented to His Majesty the late King Rama IX. And Mr. Vichan Pukpiboon donated his money to buy พระโคพูน and gave him to the Department of Livestock Development to be humbly presented to His Majesty the late King Rama IX. So you are witnessing the royal ploughing ceremony here taking place in the ceremony area of Sanam Luang, which is right opposite the Grand Palace. Early on we have the glimpse of the Brahmin pavilion being erected in the area of Sanam Luang for this royal ploughing ceremony. Statues of important Hindu gods such as พระอิศวร พระพรหม พระนารายณ์ พระอุมาภควดี พระมหาวิษเนศ พระลักษมี พระพลเทพ and พระโคอุสุภราช as well as the Tepi or celestial maidens, statues of พระอินทร์ and พระภูมิเทวี They were brought to the ceremony area and placed in the Brahmin pavilion. 7 Hindu god statues were brought from the sacred shrine in Bangkok. One of the significant images is พระพลเทพ This is the deity statue in the royal ploughing ceremony. As the royal ploughing ceremony, also known as Wan Thai Wan or Ploughing and Sowing Day, this is a Brahmanic ritual conducted in the ground of Sanam Luang, and the Brahmanic rite commenced at approximately 3 a.m. this morning, which include the consecration of seeds, the preparation of holy water, and the sprinkling of holy water onto the plough and the oxen. A ceremonial pavilion is erected to house the significant deity statues, which I have mentioned. พระพลเทพ is classified as a form of guardian spirit, commonly known as Jawen or พระภูมิ, most of which are carved wooden images or lacquered designs placed in shrines for veneration and offerings. These are often depicted as deities holding a sword. However, some are portrayed portrayed with two hands, one holding a traditional Thai folding book or samut Thai dam, and the other one holding a whip or sword. This guardian spirit is revered by Thai people as the household guardian who maintains the registry of the human inhabitants under his protection. When enshrined in a shrine, it is referred to as Jawet or the Prapum Shrine. During yesterday's event, the royal cultivating ceremony, which is one of the two components of the royal cultivating and royal ploughing ceremonies. The event yesterday featured the Prakantan Rat Buddha image of various casting from different eras. King Rama I ordered the casting of Prakantan Rat Buddha image in 1783, and that particular image was in the prostrating position with the right hand raised to the level of the chest in the beckoning gesture, and the left hand placed palm up on his lap as a gesture of receiving water. The design was taken from ancient Buddha images, and the Buddha image had been involved in the cultivating ceremony and the ceremony to ask for rainfall. พระมหาราชครูพิธีศรีวิสุทธิคุณ the chief Brahmin, also during yesterday's event, read the proclamation on the cultivating ceremony, which sought to bring propitiousness to the crops. The proclamation is a Pali verse composed by His Majesty King Rama IV. It is chanted in the Sorapanya melody, and upon its conclusion, the contents are conveyed in Thai prose, consisting of four main supplicatory statements as follows. The first statement is an expression of reverence and praise for the virtues of the Lord Buddha, who extinguished all suffering, whose heart remained steadfast, and who caused the Dhamma to flourish and prosper beautifully among his disciples and all those who were capable of receiving the teachings throughout successive generations. The true Dhamma, which bears the immortal fruit, continues to thrive due to the power of His Majesty's spiritual virtues. At present, we all pay homage to that Lord Buddha, together with the Dhamma and the Sangha, and we now sow the seed of merit in the triple gem, which is the most fertile field of merit. The seed of merit bears the fruit of wisdom, which is the means to uproot suffering in this world and has the power to bring about beneficial outcomes, both in the present and in the future, continuously, as time allows for its fruition in various ways. May the seed of merit that we have sown yield fruit in accordance with our wishes. Moreover, may the rice seedlings and all manner of crops that have been sown and cultivated throughout the entire realm sprout and flourish in due season without suffering harm in any way whatsoever. So that's the first statement. The second statement cites the verse in which the Lord Buddha described his own method of plowing to a certain Brahmin farmer as follows. Faith is a seed grain that I sow. Austerity, diligent effort in burning away defilements is the rain. Wisdom or discernment is the yoke and the plow. Moral shame is the plow handle. The mind is the guiding rope. Mindfulness or awareness is the plowshare and the goad. I shall guard my body, guard my speech, and exercise restraint. I shall be mindful in my intake of food and uphold honesty as the channel through which water may flow. Calmness and modesty shall be the place where the plow is unyoked. Persistent effort shall be the strength to draw the yoke and the plow forward as the power that leads onward to liberation from all fetters, to the place from which there is no return. to the destination free from sorrow. Such is my ploughing, which yields the fruit of immortality, untouched by death. Whoever engages in such ploughing shall be freed from all suffering. Thus was it spoken, and is now invoked as a supplication, affirming that the Lord Buddha's words are the absolute truth. By the power of this truth, may the rice seedlings and all cultivated crops throughout the entire expanse of the royal realm sprout and thrive. The third statement quotes a verse which is a maxim of the Te Mi Bodhisattva as follows: "To a person who does not harm his friends, cattle will flourish and increase in abundance for him. The seeds sown in his fields will sprout and thrive. He shall partake of the fruits of the crops that he has sown." And also, a person who does not harm his friends cannot be opposed by enemies or adversaries, just as a banyan tree with deep roots and strong branches cannot be toppled by the wind. These verses are invoked as a solemn truth, and by the power of this truthful speech, may the rice seedlings and all cultivated crops throughout the entire expanse of the royal realm sprout and prosper in abundance. And the final statement, the fourth one, refers to the royal heart of the sovereign, who, out of compassion and benevolence for the people, has firmly resolved to ensure that all subjects live in peace and happiness. This is the truth. By the power of this truth, may the rice seedlings and crops throughout the entire realm flourish and grow to fullness. After that, the announcement of the royal ploughing ceremony mentioned of the sacred Buddha image, Prakantanrat, that I mentioned, that has the power of bringing rainfall. This is the most important Buddha image for this royal ceremony. King Rama I saw the Buddha image and gave a directive for the image to be newly cast, as I have mentioned, as the main Buddha image for the ceremony. You're now seeing the ploughing ceremony taking place, which is the event which will be held once a year around May time within the ground of the Sanam Luang. You can see that the official will be sounding victory gongs and traditional Thai traditional orchestra playing auspicious tune at the same time. So the Lord of the royal ploughing ceremony, after taking the handle of the plough, he began to plough 3 concentric furrows, followed by 3 crosswise furrows, and then there will be 3 concentric furrows to turn the soil into clumps. The 3 crosswise furrows are to break the soil clumps into finer pieces in readiness for sowing of the seeds. And after that, the Phraja Ragna will plough 3 more rounds to cover the seeds. So when the ploughing is over, the bulls will be unyoked. Phraja Ragna and the Tepis, or the 4 celestial maidens, will return to the Brahmin pavilion. And during that time, the ceremonial bulls will be presented with 7 different types of food and drink, namely rice seeds, mung beans, maize, hays, sesame seeds, water, and rice liquor. Now that, depending on what the bulls eat, the prediction will be made. If the bulls eat rice seeds or maize, that may imply that the cereals and fruits will be bountiful. If they eat mung beans or sesame seeds, it may mean that fruits and food will be plentiful. If they consume water or haze, that may be predicted as the rainfall will be average. Cereals, fruits, food, and animal meat will be abundant. And if they consume rice liquor, that may mean that transportation will improve, foreign trade will grow, and the economy will prosper. So we all look forward to see the choice the ceremonial bulls will be taking. And early on, during this morning's arrival of Priya Ragna, he visited the Brahmin pavilion, and at that place he made the choice of the cloth to be worn during the ceremony. And I have already mentioned about the 3 pieces of cloth that he will make his selection randomly. The shortest one, 4 kub, that will denote that the rainfall will be abundant. Paddy in the upland areas will be plentiful, but paddy in the lowland areas may suffer some damages. If the medium one, 5 kub, is picked, the rainfall will be average, rice will be abundant, fruits and animal meat will be bountiful. If the longest one, 6 kub, is selected, it may be predicted that the rainfall will be little, very little. Paddy in the lowland areas will be plentiful, but paddy in the upland areas may suffer some damages. So these predictions will be presented, will be stated at the end of the royal ploughing ceremony. So we are all eagerly waiting to hear those predictions, which soon to come up. The ploughing ceremony has now completed. We now see the ceremonial bulls being led to the area in front of the royal pavilion. Now, as I mentioned, here the ceremonial bulls will be presented with 7 different types of food and drink. And we see what the selection will be. Here we are. The offerings are the rice seeds or maize, in Thai it's called kapot, cereals, fruits, mung beans, and sesame seeds, water or hay, and the rice liquor. The royal ploughing ceremony was probably in the old times the rite designed to remind the farmers and to give an auspicious beginning to the new planting season, especially the rice farming, that is the major source of food. The leader or the rulers of the country preside over the ceremony when the planting seasons begin. After some time passed, the Brahmanic rite called ploughing ceremony was then introduced. Its purpose is to encourage the power and happiness. Brahmins were instructors for the ceremony. The king or the leader of the country may designate this duty to a respective high-ranking officer to perform the ceremony as Priya Ragna or Lord of the royal ploughing ceremony. The role of the queen or wives who had to help ploughing are designated to 4 celestial maidens called the Queen of Sowing ceremony, assisting Priya Ragna by carrying seeds containers and distribute the seeds after Priya Ragna had ploughed the ground. The royal ploughing ceremony has been annually performed for thousands of years in several countries, not only in Thailand but also China, India, and many others. In Thailand, this ceremony has been performed since Sukhothai was the capital. It has been continued in Ayutthaya and Ratanakosit or Bangkok period. The royal ploughing ceremony performed during the reign of King Rama I, King Rama II, and King Rama III was purely the Brahmanic rite, as it had been in Ayutthaya period. This means there was no Buddhist monks participating in the ceremony. In the reign of King Rama IV, the king had royal command to initiate the Buddhist rite together with the original ceremony. The reason was to prosper all the cereals brought into the ceremonial field. After the Buddhist rite that was performed on the first day, the Brahmanic ceremony then followed. The combined rite was so-called the royal ploughing ceremony that lasted for 2 days. The royal ploughing ceremony is very important, and it is a prosperous ceremony to give encouragement to all farmers. The ancestral masters have set the rule that the ceremony must be performed on the best day of the year, comprising the auspicious occasions as stated in the treatise of astrology. This particular day must also be in the 6th month, and the traditional auspiciousness is based on the lunar calendar. The day for royal ploughing ceremony therefore cannot be set on a certain date. However, it is normally in May. The reason that it is required to be in the 6th lunar month is that it is the beginning of raining season. This time is a good time for farmers to start working on their farm, which is an important work of Thai society for a very long time. And after the royal astrologer had already calculated and got the auspicious day for the royal ploughing ceremony, the bureau of the royal households would mark the calculated date into the royal calendar that the king annually gives to his people. The calendar clearly states the date for both rites of the ceremony. The royal ploughing ceremony day is announced by the cabinet as a public holiday, but the national flag is raised as it is in usual working days. The royal ploughing ceremony had taken place until 1936 before it had been skipped until 1940, the year that the government re-announced only the Buddhist rite for cereals was to be taken place at the main ordination hall of the temple of the Emerald Buddha. The Buddhist rite for cereals had been the royal ceremony to encourage auspicious cereals before they were brought to the royal ploughing ceremony. It was conducted a day prior to the ploughing day. The importance of the beginning of the ploughing ceremony was announced on that day. As I mentioned, the proclamation of the royal ploughing ceremony just a little while ago. As for the ploughing ceremony or พระราชพิธีจรดพระนางคันแรกนาขวัญ involving the ploughing of the rice seeds, which is a Brahmanic ceremony, this will be conducted today in the สนามหลวง
รองปลัดกระทรวงเกษตรและสหกรณ์ขอพระราชทานพระบรมราชวโรกาสกราบบังคมทูลผลการเสี่ยงทายของพญาแลกนาเนื่องในงานพระราชพิธีพืชมงคลจรดพระนางคันแรกนาขวัญประจำปีพุทธศักราช 2568 โหรหลวงได้ให้คำพยากรณ์ว่าพญาแลกนาเสี่ยงทายผ้าสำหรับนุ่งไปประกอบพิธีจรดพระนางคันแรกนาขวัญดังนี้เสี่ยงผ้านุ่งปีนี้5 คืบพยากรณ์ว่าน้ำสำหรับปีนี้จะมีปริมาณพอดีข้าวกล้าในนาจะได้ผลบริบูรณ์และพลาหารมังสาหารจะอุดมสมบูรณ์ดีการเสี่ยงทายพระโคกินเลี้ยงปีนี้พระโคกินน้ำหญ้าพยากรณ์ว่าน้ำท่าจะบริบูรณ์พอควรพร้อมด้วยธัญญาหารพลาหารภักษาหารมังสาหารอุดมสมบูรณ์ดีกินเหล้าพยากรณ์ว่าการคมนาคมสะดวกยิ่งขึ้นการค้าขายกับต่างประเทศดีขึ้นทำให้เศรษฐกิจเจริญรุ่งเรืองด้วยเกล้าด้วยกระหม่อมขอเดชะ
The royal Brahmin astrologer has made prediction according to the selection made by the royal ploughing lord
ฝ่าละอองธุลีพระบาทปกเกล้าปกกระ
medium
หม่อม
one
ข้า
of
พระพุทธ
the
เจ้า
piece of cloth
นายอ
5
ภัย
cube
สุทธิสัง
which was picked.
รองปลัดกระทรวงเกษตรและสห
The
กรณ์
prediction is that the
ข
rainfall
อ
will
พ
be
ระราช
average,
ทานพระบรม
rice
รา
will
ช
be
วโร
abundant,
กาส
fruit and
ก
animal
ราบบัง
meat
คม
will
ทู
be
ล
bountiful.
ผู้เข้า
As
รับพ
for
ระราช
the
ทานโล่
selection
รางวัล
of the
ใน
ceremonial
งานพระ
rules,
ราชพิธี
they shows
พืชมงคล
water
จรดพระนางคัน
and
แรก
hay,
นาขวัญ
which mean the
ประ
rainfall will
จำปี
be
พุทธ
average,
ศักราช
cereals, fruits,
2568
food
ประ
and
กอบ
animal
ด้วย
meat will be
ปราชญ์เกษตรของแผ่นดิน
abundant. And they
รวม
also
3 สา
choose
ขา
rice liquor,
เกษตร
which
กร
means
ดีเด่นแห่ง
transportation
ชาติ
will improve,
รวม
foreign
16 สา
trade
ขา
will grow,
ผู้
and
แทน
the
สถาบัน
economy
เกษ
will
ตรกรดี
prosper.
เด่นแห่งชาติรวม 12 กลุ่มผู้แทนสหกรณ์ดีเด่นแห่งชาติ
Now we
รว
are
ม 7 สหกรณ์รวมผู้เข้ารับ
entering
พระราช
the
ทานโล่รางวัลปีนี้จำนวน
presentation of
38
awards
ราย
to National
ดังมี
Excellent
รายนามต่อ
Agriculturists,
ไปนี้
Agricultural
ปราชญ์
Institutes
เกษ
and
ตรของแผ่นดิน
Cooperatives, and
ปรา
Agricultural
ชญ์เกษ
Wisdom
ตรเศรษฐกิจพอ
Philosophers of
เพี
the
ยง
year
ร้อยตรีสุร
2025.
ชัยบุญค
For
ง
the
จังหวัด
awardees
ปรา
of the
จีนบุ
National
รี
Excellent
ปราชญ์เก
Agriculturist
ษตรดีเด่นนาย
2025
สวง
consisting of
คุ้มวิเทียน
16
จังหวัดนครป
occupational
ฐม
fields,
ปราชญ์เก
Ms.
ษตรผู้
Kriya
นำชุมชน
Suchai Sang
และ
from
เครือข่าย
Uchinarai,
นายวรร
Kalasin
ณา
Province
บุญกร
received
ม
the rice
จังหวัด
growing
อำนาจเจริญ
grower
เก
award
ษตรกรดีเด่นแห่งชาติ
category.
อาชีพทำนา
Orchid
นาง
farming
สาว
is
กรียา
Mr. Wasan Rün
สุ
Rum
ขชัย
from
แสง
Klang
จังหวัด
District,
กาฬ
Rayong
สินธุ์
Province.
อาชีพ
Crop
ทำสวน
farming is Mr.
นายวสัน
Pei
ต์
Thai
ลื่น
Tang
ลม
Sopha
จังหวัดระยอง
from Suphanburi Province.
อาชีพทำไร่นายเพไทย
Mixed
แตงโส
agriculture
ภา
is
จัง
Mrs.
หวัดสุพรรณบุรี
Rungalawan Baokam
อาชีพไร่
from
นาสวนผ
Sakyaw
สม
Province.
นางลุงลาวันเบ้าคำจังหวัดสระแก้วอาชีพปลูกหม่อนเลี้ยงไหม
For
นางสาว
sericulture
นงนุช
plantation
วง
is
คง
Miss นงนุ
จั
ช
งหวั
ว
ด
ง
ฉะ
คา
เชิงเทรา
from ท่าตะเกียบ
อา
district
ชีพเลี้ยง
ฉะ
สั
เชิ
ต
ง
ว์
เทรา
นาย
province
อนุพงศ์
Animal
พิพัฒน์วัช
husbandry
รา
is
พร
Mr.
จังหวัด
อนุ
น
พ
ค
ง
ร
ศ์
ป
พิ
ฐ
พั
ม
ฒน์วัชราพ
อาร ชีพเพาะเลี้ยง
from
สัตว์
บางเล
น้ำ
น
จืด
district นครป
นาย
ฐม
สมประสง
province
ค์เนตรทิพย์
Freshwater
จังหวัด
animal
ฉะเชิง
breeder
เทรา
is Mr.
อา
ส
ชี
ม
พ
ประ
เพาะ
ส
เลี้ยง
งค์
สัต
เน
ว์
ตร
น้ำ
ทิ
ป
พ
ล่
ย์
อย
from
นายณรง
ฉะ
ค์
เชิงเท
แก้
ราว
มณี
province
จังหวัดส
Brackish
ตูล
water animal breeder
อาชีพเพาะเลี้ยงสัตว์น้ำสวย
is
งาม
Mr. น
และ
รง
พั
ค์
นธุ์
แก้ว
ไม้
มณี
น้
from
ำนาย
สตูล
ศักดิ์
province
ชัยตันอริยะมีสิริกุลจังหวัดราช
Ornamental
บุรี
fishes breeder and
อาชีพปลู
aquatic
กสวนป่า
plants
นา
cultivator
ยสุ
is
นท
Mr.
ร
ศัก
มี
ดิ์ชัย
จำนงจังห
ตั
วัด
น
อุบ
อ
ล
ริ
ราย
ยะ
ชธา
มี
นี
สิริกุล from ราชบุรี
สาขา
province
บัญชีฟาร์ม
Forestry
นาง
plantation
นัฐการ
agriculturist
ศรี
is
ยาน
Mr.
จังหวัด
สุนทรมีจำนง from
สา
อุบล
ขา
รา
การ
ช
พั
ธา
ฒ
นี
นาที่ดิน
province
เพื่อเกษตร
Farm
กรรม
accounting is
นาง
Mrs.
รา
นั
ต
ฐ
รี
การศรี
บัวย
าน
นัท
from ส
จั
ตู
งห
ล
วัดนคร
province
สวรรค์
agricultural
สา
land
ขาการปฏิบัติทางการเกษตรที่ดี
บัวพนัส
สำหรับพืช
from นครสวรร
นา
ค์
ยจัก
province
รินทร์
Good
โคพรหม
agricultural
จังหวัด
practice
อุ
is
ดรธา
Mr.
นี
จักรินทร์
สา
โค
ขาเก
พร
ษ
ห
ต
ม
รอินท
from
รีย์
อุดรธานี
นาง
province
สาวนัทลินี
organic
สกุล
agriculture
จ
is
งเก
Miss
ษมสุข
นั
จัง
ท
หวัด
ริ
ประจ
นี
วบ
ส
คีรี
กุล
ขั
จ
น
ง
ธ์
เกษมสุข from
ที่ปรึกษา
ประจวบ
กลุ่ม
คีรี
ยุว
ขันธ์
เกษตร
province
กร
advisor to
นาย
group
สุ
of
วิทย์
young
เกิด
smart
ศรี
farmers
จังหวัด
is
สตูล
Mr. สุวิทย์เกิดศรี
สมาชิก
from
กลุ่มยุว
สตูล
เกษตรกร
province and member of
นาย
young
วัชรินทร์
agriculturist
ม
group
ณีนิน
is Mr. วัช
จังหวั
ริ
ด
นทร์
ศ
ม
รีสะ
ณี
เก
นิน
ษ
from
สถาบัน
Sri
เกษตร
province
กรดีเด่นแห่
National
งชาติ
Excellent
กลุ่มเก
Agricultural
ษตรกร
Institutes
ทำนาบัวงาม
2025
นาย
consisting
สำราญ
of
โพ
12
ธิ
groups
พันธ์จังหวัดอุบล
and
รา
the
ช
awardees
ธานี
are the บัวงาม
กลุ่ม
Rice
เกษตรกร
Agriculture
ทำ
Group
สวนต
from
ลิ่งชัน
อุบลราช
นาย
ธา
บัณ
นี
ฑิต
province
เทพ
for
ทอง
Rice
จังหวัด
Pro
นค
Group
รศรีธรรมราช
for the category
กลุ่ม
of
เกษตรกร
orchard
ทำไร่หนอง
farming group
ปราบ
ตลิ่งชัน
นางสนิท
Orchard
สวยขุนทศ
Agricultural
จั
Group
งหวัดนคร
from
ราช
นค
สี
รศรี
มา
ธรรมราช
วิ
province
สาห
is
กิจ
the
ชุมชน
awardee
แปลงใหญ่
Crop
นาย
Farmers
นัท
Group
วุฒิป
is
ที
น้อง
ภาว
ก
นิ
รา
ช
บ
จังหวัดม
Crop
หาสาร
Farmers
คา
Group
ม
from
วิ
นค
สาร ห
รา
กิ
ช
จ
สี
ชุม
มา
ชน
province
แปรรูปอาหารทะเล
Livestock Group is
นาง
the
สาว
โคนม
วนิส
โค
ลาก
ก่อ
พัทร
large
พงษ์พันธ์
plot
จังหวัดนครศรีธรรมราช
community enterprise
ก
from
ลุ่มแม่บ้าน
Mahasarkham
เกษตรกร
province
บ้านนาเวียง
Aquatic
นา
Animal
งสาวทิติ
Processing
พร
Agricultural
โคก
Group
ศรี
is
จังหวั
the
ดย
บ้าน
โส
แพร
ธ
ก
ร
เมือง
กลุ่ม
Seafood
ยุวเกษตร
Processing
กรโรงเรียน
Community
บ้านหัว
Enterprise
วัง
from
เด็
น
ก
ค
ห
ร
ญิง
ศรี
สุ
ธร
ภั
รม
ท
ราช
รา
province
ล้ำเลิศจังหวัด
Agricultural
สุพรรณบุรี
Housewives Group is บ้านนาเวียง
กลุ่มผู้ผลิต
Agricultural
เมล็ดพัน
Housewives
ธุ์ข้าว
Group
สิงห์น
from
คร
ยโสธร
นาง
province
ทิติมนต์การ
Young
จั
Smart
นละมู
Farmers Group
จังหวัด
is
สุโข
บ้าน
ทัย
หัววัง
กลุ่
School
ม
Young
บริ
Smart
หาร
Farmers
การใช้
Group
น้
from สุพ
ำ
ร
อ่าร ง
ณบุ
เก็
รี
บน้ำคลอง
province
หยา
Rice Seed
นายสม
Production
ชาย
Group
ขุน
is
แก้ว
ศรีนคร
จังหวัด
Rice
กระบี่
Seed Production Group
ศูน
from
ย์ข้าวชุม
Sukhothai
ชนนา
province
แปลงใหญ่
Irrigation
นายเกียร
Water
ติ
User
อาจพักดี
Agriculture
จัง
Institute
หวัดสุริน
is
ทร์
คลองหยา
ศูนย์ข้าวชุมชน
Reservoir
บ้าน
Water
หันเทา
Usage
นาง
Management
หนู
Group
พิน
from
คาน
Krabi
ทอง
province
จังหวัดอุดร
Community
ธานี
Rice Production and
วิ
Promotion
สาหกิจชุม
Center
ชน
for หอม
ก
มะ
ลุ่ม
ลิ
เกษตร
Rice
กร
of
ปลูกกล้วย
Fragrant
หอม
Jasmine
และ
Rice
ไม้ผลปลอด
category
ภัย
is เกาะ
นายส
แก้
ม
ว
ชัย
Sub-District
หนูนวล
Large
จัง
Farm
หวัดพั
Plot
ทลุง
Community Rice
สห
Center
กรณ์ดีเด่น
from
แห่งชาติ
Surin Province Community
ส
Rice
หกรณ์การ
Production
เก
and
ษตร
Promotion
จำกัด
Center for other
นาย
kinds
ส
of
มทบ
rice
ค
species
มบาง
is บ้าน
จังหวั
หั
ด
น
พะ
เทา
เยา
Community Rice
สหก
Center
รณ์โคนม
from
เทพสถิต
อุดร
จำ
ธา
กั
นี
ด
Province
นาย
and
สม
Community
พร
Enterprise
ผลดีล
is
ก
the
จังหวัดชัย
agriculturist
ภูมิ
planting golden banana
สหกร
and
ณ์ประมง
safety
แม่
food
กลอง
trees
จำกัด
Community
นายสม
Enterprise
พร
from พัทลุง
สมุท
Province
รโสภากุล
For the
จังหวัด
National
สมุทร
Excellent
สงคราม
Cooperatives 2025
สหกรณ์ชาวส
for
วน
the
ยางพารา
agricultural
ภูผาหมอก
cooperative
จำกัด
the awardee
นาย
is
วิรัต
Pong
ชูเพชร
Agricultural
จังหวัด
Cooperative
ศรี
from
สะเกษ
พะเยา province
สหกรณ์ออมทรัพ
for
ย์ตำรวจ
dairy
พังงา
cattle
จำกัด
cooperative
ร้อย
is
ตำรวจโท
the เทพส
ว
ถิต
ยรัตน์
dairy
อินเอียด
cattle
จังหวัด
cooperative
พัง
limited
งา
from
ร้าน
Chayapur
สห
province
กรณ์โรงพยาบาล
fishery
พัทลุง
cooperative
จำ
is
กัด
the Maeklong
นายอิน
fishery
จัน
cooperative
แดง
from
จังหวัด
the
พั
ส
ท
มุท
ลุ
รง สงคราม Kham
ส
Province.
หกรณ์เครดิตยู
Rubber
เนียน
Producer
เขื่อนเพชรโขง
Cooperative
ข่อย
is
จำกัด
Phu Pha Mok
นางสาวนายนา
Rubber Plantation
เพ็งอุดม
Cooperative Limited
จังหวัด
from
เพชรบุรี
Singsaket Province. Saving Cooperative is Phanga Police Saving Cooperative Limited from Phanga Province. Shop Cooperative is Pathalung Hospital Cooperative Shop Limited from Pathalung Province. And Credit Union Cooperative is Khuen Phet Khong Khoi Credit Union Cooperative from Phetchaburi Province. The three National Wisdom Philosophers for 2025 are Mr. Second Lieutenant Surachai Bunkong from Prachinburi Province as the Wisdom
ด้วยเกล้า
Philosopher
ด้วยกระหม่อม
for the
ขอเดชะ
category of Sufficiency Economy. The awardee in the field of agriculture is Mr. Sawong Kumvichian from Nakhon Pathom Province, and one awardee in the field of community and network leaders is Mr. Wanna Bunklom from Amnachari Province. So those are the awardees of the National Excellent Agriculturist, Agricultural Institutes and Cooperatives and Agricultural Wisdom Philosophers of the year 2025. They have been devoting their time, their effort in developing the agricultural works in their localities in many ways, and they've been recognized by the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives as being outstanding personalities for the year 2025. And every year, there are a number of these excellent agriculturists and agricultural institutes and cooperatives being awarded by the authority in recognition of their work and their contribution to the country. Throughout numerous visits to Royal Thailand, by accompanying His Majesty the late King Bhumibol Adulyadej the Great and Her Majesty Queen Sirikit the Queen Mother, His Majesty King Mahawachiralongkorn พระวชิรเกล้าเจ้าอยู่หัว has been fully aware of hardship numerous Thais have been enduring. With the vision of the country's future, His Majesty's royally initiated projects, which started from the era of King Rama IX and before, have covered all areas of development. So you have seen royally initiated projects in the field of water resources management, improvement of people's well-being and livelihoods, public health, care, education, natural resources conservation, and the stabilities of the country. Following the presentation of plaques of honor to outstanding national agriculturists in various fields, representatives of outstanding agricultural institutes, outstanding national cooperatives in various fields, and other distinguished individuals, the Lord of the Royal Ploughing Ceremony is now being ceremoniously paraded out of the ceremonial pavilion. He will now be approaching the Royal Pavilion, and he will then pay salutation to His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen. Following that, พระยาแรกนา will proceed to his motorcade, accompanied by the 4 celestial maidens. They will travel to Jitlada Palace, which is the royal residence of His Majesty the late King Rama IX, to await the arrival of His Majesty the King at the experimental farming plot in the Jitlada Garden Royal Project. The Ratanakosin Bangkok era saw the royal ploughing ceremony being conducted from the reign of King Rama I. But the Lord of the Royal Ploughing changed to Japraya Polathep, and this was accompanied by the traditional ceremony of standing on the giant swing located in an area near Sanam Luang Ceremonial Ground. Presently, the plaza in front of the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration headquarters during the reign of King Rama III, the one who stood on the giant swing would serve as the Lord of the Royal Ploughing. King Rama IV gave the royal directive for a Buddhist religious ceremony to be organized in accompaniment of all royal ceremonies. Hence, the cultivating ceremony was since conducted and combined with the royal ploughing ceremony by holding the cultivating ceremony on the day before the royal ploughing ceremony. Therefore, the 2 royal ceremonies are related to each other. They aim at bringing about propitiousness to the nation's crops, boosting farmers' morale, as well as heralding the start of the rice growing season. In addition, these ceremonies provide foreigners with an opportunity to appreciate the country's fine culture and traditions. These annual events had been observed until 1936, but were temporarily suspended after that. The cultivating ceremony and the ploughing ceremony were revived in 1947 and 1960 respectively, and have been held together since then. Priya Ratna is now paying homage to their Majesties the King and Queen in the traditional ancient way of paying respect. His Majesty the late King Rama IX gave a royal directive for the adjustment of the ceremonies in accordance with the present era and regularly performed the function every year. Rice grown on the Chitlanda Palace grounds, home of His Majesty the late King Rama IX, is sown in the ceremony, and afterward, onlookers swarm the field to gather the seed, which is believed to be auspicious. Farmers will often mix the grains with their own rice stock, or the grains might be kept as a good luck charm. During the period after the revival of the ploughing ceremony, the Director General of the Rice Department served as Praya Ragna, or the Lord of the Royal Ploughing Ceremony. The 4 tapis, or celestial maidens, who would carry silver and golden baskets containing rice seeds for scattering during the ploughing ceremony, were selected from the wives of senior officials of the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives. And later on, Praya Ragna was the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives, and the tapis were deliberately chosen from the single females employed in the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives, who were second-ranked civil officials or higher. I just recap again about the prediction that was made early on following the selection by the Praya Ragna of the 3 pieces of cloth. There were of different length, 4 kub, 5 kub, and 6 kub. Kub is a Thai unit of linear measurement from the tip of the thumb to the tip of the middle finger when the hand is fully spread out. And depending on the selection, the predictions are made. Now, the Praya Ragna has chosen the medium one, the 5 kub, and the prediction is that the rainfall will be average, rice will be abundant, fruits and animal meat will be bountiful. As for the selection of food being offered, and drink as well, being offered to the ceremonial bulls, they chose water and hay, and that means the rainfall will be average. Cereals, fruits, food, and animal meat will be abundant. And the ceremonial bulls also shows rice liquor. The prediction is that transportation will improve, foreign trade will grow, and the economy will prosper. Now the Lord of the Ploughing, after ceremoniously paraded from the Brahmin pavilion and given salutation to His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen, he will now leave by the motorcade, accompanied by the 4 celestial maidens, to travel to Chitlanda Palace. He will then wait for the arrival of His Majesty the King at the experimental farming plot in the Chitlanda Garden Royal Project. Let me mention about the rice strains being used during the event of Royal Ploughing Ceremony of this year. They consist of 7 lowland rice varieties: Khao Dok Mali 105, RD79, RD85, RD99 or Hom Klong Luang 72, and also the Wang Tong 72, RD6, and RD24 or Sakon Nakhon 72, totaling 4,880 kilograms. Khao Dok Mali 105 is a non-glutinous rice, and it was initially obtained by Mr. Sunthorn Sihanen, rice officer, who collected 199 ears of the paddy from Bang Kla district, Chaching Chau province between 1950 and 1951. They then were taken through the process of pure line selection and grew for species comparison at Kok Samrong Rice Experimental Station. Later, the strain was cultivated in comparison with those species in the localities in the north, central, and northeast of the country until the variety called Khao Dok Mali 42105 white jasmine flower 42105 was obtained. The number 4 signifies the place where the rice ears were kept, and this was at Bang Kla district. The number 2 represents Khao Dok Mali, which was the second experimented variety, and the number 105 means the 105th row or ear of paddy from the total of 199 ears. The plant, which yields non-glutinous rice, is 140 centimeters high, being photosensitive, and the grain straw colored. The time of harvest is around the 25th of November. This variety is resistant to drought and salty and acidic soil. On boiling with water, it becomes soft and has nice fragrance. It is recommended that Khao Dok Mali 105 should be grown in the northeast and the upper north of the kingdom. We have a number of strains being distributed to the public on this occasion, and the Khao Dok Mali 105 is one of them. The total weight being distributed is 1,030 kilograms. RD 79, 420 kilograms. RD 85, 200 kilograms. RD 99, or Hom Klong Luang 72, 300 kilograms. RD 6, which is glutinous rice, 440 kilograms, and RD 24, or Sakon Nakhon 72, 200 kilograms. These are regarded as the royally cultivated and royally bestowed rice grains. These are packed into small plastic bags to be distributed as auspicious and propitious items for agricultural occupation, in according with the popular tradition. In addition, for the remaining rice seeds, the Rice Department humbly requests the royal permission to store them for use in the 2025 growing season as a foundation for high-quality seeds to be distributed to farmers in the future. So we see a number of officials participating in the events today, as well as the general public wearing yellow shirts or yellow dresses, as the yellow is the color designating the Monday, which is the day of birth of His Majesty the King. And these are the agriculturists who receive the plaques of honor from His Majesty the King. They're from various categories of achievement. Rice is the only crop that Thai farmers arrange to give blessings at every stage of its life, from planting to harvesting. It is done to boost morale and reduce worries, with the hope that the produce will be abundant and will ultimately bring joy, happiness, and stability to the farmers, their families, and the community as a whole. Thus, the various rituals of rice are closely related to both the communal way of life and their religious beliefs. They emphasize the need to live together in harmony and to be mutually supportive. In addition, such rituals also play an important role on the village economy that involves rice production, distribution, and exchange. In most rice-growing countries of Asia, the spirit of rice resides in the rice mother or the rice goddess. In Thailand, the rice goddess is Maposop. Maposop and the Balinese rice goddess, or Devi Si, are treated in similar ways, respectful and protective. Just as mothers give food and milk to their children, so Maposop gives her body and soul to everyone. The birth and life of Maposop appear in the legend and folklore of all regions of the country. There's an evidence indicating that the image of Maposop was designed at least 700 to 800 years ago although that has essentially remained unchanged today. From the way Maposop is portrayed, the way she sits and the way she dresses, for example, it is generally believed that she is a local goddess. So that's the legend surrounding the value and the background of the rice, the grain of culture. So rice is a stable cereals that nurtures the lives of the Thai people and of more than half the world's population. In the economic terms, rice is a commodity ensuring prosperity and food security. In agriculture, rice is the second most cultivated cereals in the world after wheat, and more than 90% of the world's production is consumed in Asia. In terms of civilization, rice is fundamental to the culture of many Eastern countries, where the words rice and food are synonymous. As Thailand is located in a tropical zone close to the equator, the country is a hot and humid climate, while the south and the east come under tropical monsoon conditions. The variety of local weather conditions and prevalent soil fertility work to widen biological diversity, especially in terms of rice varieties, both cultivated and wild. In Thailand, rice can be compared to a gift from the land that thrives on rain falling from the sky. Going back more than 5,000 years, the ancestors on this land in prehistoric times already knew how to grow rice for food. Later on, as the various kingdoms came along, there was an accumulation of knowledge and local wisdom, which were passed on from generation to generation until there were research and development institutes to teach Thai farmers to choose appropriate cultivation techniques and rice strains. And this led to Thailand becoming well known for the diversity of rice varieties, numbering in the tens of thousands of both cultivars and wild species. This has allowed the country to be the world leader in rice and dominated the world's rice markets for decades. The life of Thai farmers tilling paddy fields during planting seasons requires utmost forbearance and perseverance and has been practiced for generations. Thai farmers endeavor to produce rice in their paddy fields according to agreed standards, with attention paid in every step of cultivation. Consumers are assured of the quality of Thai rice, certain of receiving a healthy product, providing wholesome nourishment, and most importantly, of its unique, delicious taste. So this is excerpt from the book Thai Rice for Life by the Ministry of Commerce. Sanam Luang Ceremonial Ground, the open field in front of the Temple of the Emerald Buddha and the Grand Palace, is located in Pranakon District, the historic center of Bangkok. It is written in the Royal Chronicle that in front of Wat Maha That, Sanam Luang lies between the Royal Palace and the palace to the front. Sanam Luang was officially known as Thung Pramen. It has been known for site for the cremation of kings, queens, and high-ranking princesses since the reign of King Rama I. In 1855, King Rama IV changed the name from Thung Pramen to Thong Sanam Luang, but the name is now shortened to Sanam Luang. And it has been used since the time King Rama I. It was a place for royal ceremonies and functions. King Rama IV set up a place for performing the royal ploughing ceremony and the ceremony of calling the rain, where low walls were put up here in Sanam Luang, and a small hall was built to place the Buddha image for the ceremony. Pavilions and towers were built near the king's seat when he watched the ploughing ceremony. Next to the king's pavilion, there was a stage where plays were performed as part of the ritual of propitiating the gods. Outside the wall, there was a barn where the rice would be stored. Their Majesties the King and Queen are now boarding their royal motorcade. Their Majesties the King and Queen will now leave the ceremony area to return to the Chilada Palace for the next part of the event. The royal motorcade of His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen has now departed the venue, and after the royal ploughing ceremony is completed within the area of Sanam Luang Ceremonial Ground, people who have been gathering since early morning to witness the event will now approach the field and pick up the sacred rice seeds to take home and mix them with their rice seeds for auspiciousness or to keep as their luck charms. Once His Majesty has arrived at the experimental farming plot in the Chitlada Garden Royal Project, Phaya Ragna, the Lord of Ploughing, will request permission to scatter the rice seeds in the experimental plot for the use in next year's royal ploughing ceremony. Once the seeds have been scattered, Phaya Ragna and the four celestial maidens will present salutation to His Majesty the King, and that will be the end of the royal ceremony. So at the moment we are seeing the movement of the public within the ground of the Sanam Luang area where the royal ploughing ceremony took place. People coming looking for all the rice seeds that were scattered by the Lord of the royal ploughing ceremony, and they'll try to pick as many as they can to take them home and maybe to keep them as luck charms, or to mix them with their own rice seeds for cooking or for cultivating into rice plants at home or at their farms. So we've been witnessing the royal cultivating as well as the royal ploughing ceremony. On behalf of the Television Pool of Thailand, we would like to thank you for watching this live transmission of the royal ploughing ceremony held at Sanam Luang Ceremonial Ground, Bangkok. His Majesty the King graciously presided over this significant event, which together with the royal cultivating ceremony is aimed at bringing auspiciousness and abundance to the country's crops and grains. So please join us again on our future live telecast from Bangkok. Your narrator has been Yong Yut Mayalap. สวัสดีครับ